Jump in my 6'4" and let the top dine. Trunk hitting hard when I swing through H-time. Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho. DJ Screw got me falling asleep. This is how we do it in that 713.
Welcome to Sports with Balls. Here are your hosts, Jeff Michael, Lauren Leal, and Grant Miles.
Yo.
Hello.
All right,
Hello.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock on a Friday here at Christian's Tailgate. Welcome to Sports with Balls. We are obviously missing our third wheel, Miss Lauren Leal. She'll be back with us though, I think.
That rhymes. Oh,
Our third
you
wheel,
can't hear me.
Lauren Leal.
You can't hear me. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello,
once
hello.
again, welcome, 7 o'clock, Sports with Balls. We're sitting over here at Christian's Tailgate, over here at the Kirby location, man, and we're here a lot, man. I really enjoy this place.
I love this place. That's why we
Fun,
come
man.
That's why we
Good.
come every day.
We did had somebody already ask us about soccer, and, unfortunately today we don't have soccer on the menu.
No, we don't. There's too much football. Well, there's too much American football to
There's
talk about.
too much American football. But we got a lot of stuff coming up, man. We got some NFL. We're going to go over a lot of the picks this weekend. We're going to go over last night's game. Man, we got some NBA stuff to get into, some MLB. But, man, before we get into that, maybe we'll drop into the 2-minute drill real quick.
Let's do it.
Brought to you by Joe Applewhite and Applewhite Realty. You know somebody's looking for a move, or if you are yourself looking for a move. I know I'm not currently, but
No, I'm not either. I'm good. I'm
you're
good where I'm at, yeah.
You're good staying where you're at.
But I hear right now is the time to buy, though, if you want to buy a house.
I think so.
I
Call
think it's
Joe,
time to
man.
buy.
He's busy. He's busy and seems to be doing well. 713-291-5270. Joe Applewhite and Applewhite Realty. If you mention Sports with Balls, apparently he's going to help box up your house for you.
I know he's going to do a lot of things that I want to see on video and pictures.
Well, yeah, I want to see that too, man. But Joe Applewhite Realty, great friend of the show. Call him if you're looking for a move. And so let's get into the 2-minute drill real quick. Usually this is Lauren's segment, but Lauren's is she just too busy for us these days?
I don't know, man. That's what I was being. I mean, I disagree with you. I know before we were talking about it.
Disagree with me?
Well, what I was going to say is before the show we talked about it, and you said that we don't necessarily need her, and I disagree with that. I think we
that is not the case.
I think we need her.
I
I
don't
think she's
think-
an important part of the show.
No,
God, please, no.
she's an integral cog.
Yes, she's an yes. I guess that's I don't want to try to say that word. You said it. So.
Last night, let's get into 2-minute drill real quick. Some quick notes of last night. Miami and Jacksonville, which I thought was going to be an entertaining game. I thought Jacksonville might have put up a fight, but man, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh,
Fitzmagic.
man,
that dude, I tell you what, that guy's so high and low. Man, we talked about it before. I think you said one time he had a game where he had no touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Yeah, in a game with 6 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
Man, that dude.
But
you
he
never know
loves-
what you're going to get.
If you saw his outfit after the game, it was phenomenal. I love the guy just because he loves that he can still play the game at 37 years old, just sling the football around. And he said after the game, he's excited that he gets paid to sit out there and play football with his friends.
Well, and I think he's a perfect guy for Tua. I think he knows his role in the NFL. He knows what he's there for. He's not trying. I bet he takes that mentorship role very seriously.
Yeah.
And I think he enjoys being able to.
Tua might be able to learn a lot from him as far as relaxing.
Yes.
Take the game, have the game come to you instead of forcing the game, almost like a Patrick Mahomes type. Relax, have fun out there, throw the football.
And that dude, they show him up close. He's out there making crazy faces. And, I mean, that dude just looks like he enjoys playing football.
I love it.
It was awesome. But
On
I did
to,
not see that, by the way. I thought that was going to be a Jacksonville
Yeah, I
game.
think I picked Jacksonville actually.
Yes. As did I.
On to the next one. My favorite athlete, Tiger Woods, opened up a course that he named. It's called Payne's Valley,
Okay.
and it's after Payne Stewart, who I've got his rookie golf card. Tragically
Man,
died.
you collected golf cards?
I did. I've got
Do you
Payne
still
Stewart's
have 'em?
rookie golf card. Yeah.
Man, where did you get golf cards? I was a sports card guy, but I never got golf ones. Though.
Well, and like my stepdad, as a hobby, picked up a comic and card shop. Like he owned one, like a comic and card, like with memorabilia.
Yeah, I
when
got
you
you.
used to go
Yeah.
to I don't know if anybody has these anymore in Houston, like comic and card shops. Like
I'm sure there's somewhere.
But we had one of those, and he kept the Payne Stewart one for me because he died after winning the U.S. Open tragically in his plane. But so I've kept it ever since. I still have the Payne
That's the
Stewart.
coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, yeah, because I was a sports card collector. I was more basketball than baseball and the other one, but I had 0 golf cards.
Yeah, I think that might be the only one. I mean, now I guess you'd be happy if you had a Tiger Woods rookie one, right?
Dude, I wonder what something like that. I know this. Got to bring it back to Luka. Got to bring it back to the Mavericks.
Of course. Jesus.
Do you know Luka's card? I think just recently I had Steven at work. He was telling me about this. His card went for like $50,000. Somebody bought that.
Hold on to it. Hold on. You see what they're going through now. But yeah, Tiger Woods opened up his new course. Had the golf celebrities that he had there. Whoa. I put a picture up. If you're not following us on Facebook, it's called Sports with Balls. Follow us. I mean, we update stuff all the time. Breaking news, all kinds of stuff. We're on there. Sports with Balls, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, on iVox, iVoxNewsNow.com. We're on there. Yeah. Huge news. So, yeah, incredible. If you look at this picture, the majors that are in this, it's just a phenomenal picture.
It's 48, right? 48 majors
48.
in that picture.
Yeah,
and I'd mentioned on there, if you took Justin Rose, Rory, and Justin Thomas off of that, you'd have 42 majors.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're obviously speaking of Tiger and Jack, but I mean,
and Gary Player. Gary Player has 9.
Yeah, Gary Player, he was amazing. So Tiger opened his. It was an amazing thing to watch. They were mic'd up, and I caught some sound bits of it. That was fun. But another breaking news story that came out just today, about a few hours ago, that Conor McGregor wants to fight Manny Pacquiao now. This is almost laughable, bro.
Well, like we said, you got 2 things at play here. One, Conor McGregor needs attention, and so this is his way to get that. And 2, like you said, what do you think that purse is?
Conor's probably going to make $100 million.
So, I mean, why not?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be very beneficial physically for Conor McGregor. For Conor.
I can't imagine. Okay, because Floyd Mayweather will play with him, whatever, had fun, and Conor McGregor was, obviously off, hitting him in the back of the head. It was an awkward thing to watch, but he wants to take this seriously, and Manny Pacquiao is a serious boxer. That's almost like Roy Jones going back, this probably wasn't a good idea to go up against Tyson. Yeah,
I think Manny would probably take offense to the fact that he wants to do this. Be like, dude, this is boxing. This isn't fun.
I think Manny Pacquiao will actually drop him quick.
Yes.
I think that'll be interesting. But, I mean, again, I would probably buy it, and I think that most of the people around here would buy it. I want to see Pacquiao beat the shit out of Conor McGregor.
That would be interesting to see.
Like I do.
Because Floyd Mayweather played with him for 10, 11 rounds, however that went.
Yeah, exactly. It was a just he toyed with him, and I don't think this is going to be such a toy match. I think because Pacquiao probably want to fight Mayweather again, so he'll probably come out there and beat the hell out of him.
Right, yeah. But, like I said, I think Manny would take that personally.
Again, we're sitting over here at Christian's Tailgate at 1504 Kirby. Man, love this place. Best burgers in Houston. I had one before we came on air. It's delicious. We're here every Monday and Friday. We got Monday Night Football that we're here prior to on Mondays, and then now we're here on Fridays. And, we are missing Lauren Leal. I hope she's doing well.
We're missing 2 folks. We're missing Johnny J and Lauren Leal.
Yeah. We got our boy. Nico is on
Nico
tonight.
Here today,
What's
man.
up,
Nico's
Nico?
helping us out.
Yeah, Johnny. They were.
Exactly.
I guess Johnny and Lauren are just. They moved on to bigger and better things.
I guess they figured they got better things to do. So screw them. We'll do it without them.
Well, just like we said, we're going to get into some NFL, y'all. We made some hella picks last week, and we're going to do it again this week. And, man, let's just start off. You want to go? We went over the Thursday game a little bit. Jacksonville looks terrible. As I thought they looked pretty decent. But Miami played a hell of a game, Ryan Fitzpatrick. And if you take out that first game that they played where Fitzpatrick looked terrible, their last 2 games, they've looked great.
Yeah, I was impressed the way they played last night. Like I say, Fitzpatrick, you just never know. That's one of the ways that makes it difficult with him, knowing exactly what you're going to get, because you get games where he plays terrible, and then you get games like he did last night where he looked like he was unstoppable.
It's weird when you go into that kind of thing. Like if you play daily fantasy, stuff like that, and you just pick Fitzpatrick last night, which nobody else did, you're probably going to win. You're going to win a little bit of money. Like it's strange with Ryan Fitzpatrick, and like you said, it's probably great for Tua. A lot of people probably want to see Tua, before they probably should. And this is a step back for Tua on his train. Not a step back, but if Fitzpatrick would have gone 0-3 and looked terrible, Tua would be in there.
Well, we talked about that. What would be the outcome if you had a 0-3 Miami Dolphins team if they would have gone to Tua?
Barring an injury,
I don't know why you would take him out.
No.
I mean, at this point, if he continues along this, you would think that yes, it would take an injury to get him out, unless they just start going on a huge losing streak where they look terrible. But after last night, I would not say that's the case.
He started 11 for 11. He's never done that in his career. He started 11 for 11, 2 touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown. I mean, the guy, he went off last night.
He went off as far as for his contribution to the game and they won the game. When you look at the stats of it, he wasn't
Yeah, it
killing
wasn't
it.
mind-blowing.
I mean, it wasn't a mind-blowing stat kind of game. He was 18 to 20, 160 yards, which that's not fantastic, but 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He actually ran for 38 yards last night.
I mean, he looked like Fitzpatrick, that's what he does. And at 37 years old, that's still flat out amazing. To
It
take
is.
off like that and do.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's the ultimate backup. And I have a question for you for Fitzpatrick. Is he Hall of Fame?
Brian Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
See, and that's strange because his record numbers, like if you look up his stats, he is in top 15, I think, of everything. Completions,
Absolutely.
yardage, touchdowns,
Well,
he's still not a Hall of Famer.
Well, let me ask you this. We're talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick, who played last night.
Yeah,
You were serious when you asked that question?
dead serious.
I thought maybe you were like wanting to start an argument here. And that's why you
No,
said that.
I'm serious. I think Fitzpatrick might be a Hall of Famer. I mean, if you look at stats-wise, if you're going strictly by his stats, Fitzpatrick numbers are phenomenal.
So you watch Ryan
Absolutely
Fitzpatrick play, and you say that looks like a Hall of Famer to me.
Joe said both of us need new homes. Yeah.
Joe don't know about me.
Anyways, Austin said the course is silly nice talking about Tiger Woods. But join us on Facebook Live. We're here. Again, we're over at Christian Tailgate on Kirby.
Come on by.
I did a shot already.
did.
You get 10% off your tab when you mention SWB at the bar. So, and yeah! Of course, we don't look as aesthetically pleasing this evening because
Right.
we don't
I know.
have Lauren.
No,
But
but
we'll
keep
get through
watching
it.
though.
We'll get through it. Let's get into some right. Nico. Let's get into some Sunday games.
Let me ask you this.
All right.
Before we get started. Through 2 weeks, so we've played 2 weeks now, with the exception of the game last night, Jacksonville and Miami. Through 2 weeks, do you have a team that you would say has been the most disappointing for you so far that you've watched or seen?
Most disappointing team.
Yes.
I mean, I could haul off and say the Texans, but that's normal. Most disappointing, maybe the Vikings.
Okay.
Maybe the Vikings giving Kirk Cousins all that money. On paper, they looked incredible. And they gave Dalvin Cook that big contract like 2 days before the season started. They looked to be pretty good, and right now they look the bottom of the barrel. The Bengals look great compared to the Vikings. People are scheduling, penciling in wins on the Vikings now. And so I would say the Vikings probably are the biggest disappointment.
Well, yeah, and they're one of those 0-2 teams, and yes, I mean, that's the one I picked. I mean, Minnesota.
Right.
I mean, Minnesota Vikings, to me, I thought, now granted, you have to say this when you're talking about the first 2 weeks of the season. It's been 2 weeks. So, granted, they could turn things around, but when you start off 0-2, your odds of making the playoffs drop significantly.
Yeah, at 0-3, it's almost impossible. But there's 2 other teams that are also very, very – the Panthers, who I thought with Teddy Bridgewater were going to be a lot better, and also Detroit, Matt Stafford. Now, it wasn't his fault. Threw a perfect pass. Running back dropped the ball in the end zone. That
was terrible.
They should have won that game. But
Yes.
Detroit and Carolina are both 0-2, and I can see that being very frustrating for fans.
Well, especially for Matthew Stafford. I feel like Matthew Stafford is a quality quarterback, and unfortunately for that guy, he just has not played on good teams.
Nope. No, I mean, nobody. I mean, you look, he had his number 1 guy, Calvin Johnson, retire. At 29 years old.
Yeah, retire early, yeah.
That takes away a big weapon of his, stretching the field. He hasn't had a good running back, but he's got a killer arm, got a cannon.
Well, and I'd be curious to know for Matt Patricia, their head coach, how much more they have to lose before he loses his job.
I mean, you start off 0-3. I posted something on Facebook the other day about coaches that are in the hot seat. He's one of them.
Oh, he's big time in the hot seat.
Yeah, he's on the hot seat for sure.
And the question I wonder with a guy like Matt Patricia is, do you think that – it's funny, Bill Belichick, his coaching tree is not very successful.
No, that's it. And it's funny you mention that. Parcells and Belichick is under that tree. There's a couple of good ones, but if you go any further than that, you're right. I mean, the line kind of stops.
Well, the one that you have I think that has some potential is Brian Flores at Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So far, he's looking like he's got it. But, yeah, that Belichick tree, you would think working for a guy like Belichick – you learn a thing or two.
Maybe Bill's secretive on his knowledge.
I mean, maybe he's just such a genius.
Yeah.
Sometimes I heard somebody talk about this. Sometimes geniuses don't make good teachers.
I mean, look, he found a good fit for him, found a good teacher, and look, we're going to get into the New England Patriots here in a little bit and what they're doing, which is for me shocking. Let's go over some games. What do you got? What do you got? Because I'm ready. Let's talk about some Sunday football and some games. Who's up on the first one?
This one just jumped out at me when I saw this.
All right.
New York Jets at the Indianapolis Colts.
Golly, what a terrible game.
New York Jets may be the worst team in the NFL. Oh, they are the worst team in the NFL.
By far. They're in the Trevor, what is it? The Chase for
Trevor Lawrence.
Chase for Trevor.
But they got Sam Donaldson.
I mean, yeah, but he looks terrible.
Sam Darnold. I'm sorry, I said
Darnold.
Donaldson.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold. Sam Donaldson, he used to be like a news anchor, right?
Wasn't he? I thought he was a comedian.
I think so. I don't know.
One of them.
Sam Darnold. So that's the question. If you're the New York Jets, you end up getting the first pick of the draft. Are you saying, okay, well, forget this Sam Darnold, we're going to go get Trevor Lawrence?
Well, I mean, you're at the point you tank for Trevor. If you're the Jets, and how many teams are in that position, and do they want him? So they need to make up their mind pretty soon if they're going to start tanking or not.
That's giving up on a guy like Sam Darnold pretty quickly, though.
What's the line on that game?
That's why I wanted to bring it up. Indy at home against the Jets minus 11.5.
Oh, wow. Are they tanking that bad?
Well, that's what I thought because
Whoa,
Indianapolis is
11
not
points?
that great.
Golly.
But yeah, they got Indianapolis 11.5.
And they lost their starting running back. They do have the best offensive line. Naheem Hines is starting for them now. Wow. Holy.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. So I went ahead and I picked Indianapolis minus 11.5 with the win, just strictly because the New York Jets are that bad. I mean, they're terrible. When you look at their point differential so far up to this point, they're negative 28. I mean, they've been getting their butts beat.
But it's the NFL, and
they've been averaging 14-point deficits on both their games so far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anytime there's a double digit like that, I'm tempted to go the opposite. So I think I'm going to take the Jets with the 11.
But you're going to take the Colts to win it, though.
No, the Jets plus 11. Yeah, the Colts. Well, no. I don't know. That is a tough call. It's a tough call. But
That's a tough one.
I mean, I'm not going to take the money line, but I would definitely take Jets and 11 points. Anytime there's over 10 points, like I said, it's the NFL. There could be a punt return, kickoff return. There's
it makes
trash
you nervous.
points. Yeah.
It makes you nervous for sure.
Or yeah, maybe not even touch that one.
Wait, that too. I mean, that was my last one. When I was going through over all the games, that was my last one to look at, was that one. And
what other ones we got?
We got Carolina at the L.A. Chargers. You got L.A. Chargers minus 6.5.
Interesting game. Very, very interesting game. I like the way the Chargers are playing. The Colts, not the Colts.
The Chargers.
The Chargers.
LA Chargers.
Yeah, that's what I like the way the Chargers are playing right now.
They're playing against the Panthers.
And I just mentioned Teddy Bridgewater, who I thought from the beginning of the season was going to be rebirthed.
Yes.
Look good. And
yes.
he looks terrible.
Well, you know, their head coach is Matt Rule. Matt Rule comes from Baylor. And Baylor has good quarterback play. I mean, it seems like Matt Rule has a way to create offense that puts it in an offensive advantage with good quarterback, with average quarterback play, makes them look good. And yes, I'm surprised about that. Of course, having Christian McCaffrey out right now, CMC, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, and that's why this line's interesting. I
took Chargers minus 6.5.
You took Chargers minus the 6.5. I think I'd take the Chargers too, minus 6.5.
And you're going to have your boy playing, Justin Herbert playing.
I'm telling you, this kid's
A-Bear,
good.
Actually, his last name is.
Yeah, I think they're saying Herbert. But I picked him up in my fantasy league just because he performed very well after what's his name got stabbed in the.
Did you read that story? By their own physician.
By his own physician, he got stabbed in the lungs.
Yes, punctured his lung.
Punctured his lung, administering a cortisone shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you think that guy still works for the Chargers?
I mean, the head coach said it was not a big deal. It happens.
It's not a big deal.
But, yeah, Tyrone Taylor's out with a punctured lung from a needle from his own doctor.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. He said it's not a big deal that their physician punctured the lung of their starting quarterback.
Man, look, I know. When I read it, I was like, I've never seen that story before.
Never.
And then I heard the head coach say, not a big deal. It's all good. Apparently he's a great physician, but Tyrod Taylor's out, and Justin Herbert starts, and I'm going with the Chargers.
He's not good at doing injections. He may be good at other stuff, but he ain't good at that.
So I'm going with Chargers minus 6.5 for sure.
The team that I think, and I've said it before the season started, so I'm going to take credit. The team I think that is on the rise, Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
Detroit at Arizona. You got Arizona minus 5.5.
This is Detroit at Arizona.
Detroit minus 5.5.
I mean, Arizona's playing
Or
really.
Arizona minus 5.5.
Arizona's playing really, really good. I don't know. I feel like that might be a trap game. Arizona feels like they're on a roll right now.
You feel
you
like
know?
that's a trap game?
Yeah, I feel like that's a trap game because Detroit can play well. They really can. Like, they should have won that first game against the Bears. They were up on the Bears by, man, what were they? They were up by 20 points going into the fourth
they're
quarter.
up significant, yes.
And then, they came back. Obviously, they played prevent defense, and then the guy dropped a touchdown pass, or they should have beat the Bears. So I think Detroit can play good. I think I'm going to take Detroit with the points.
Ooh, Detroit with the points. We'll see how that goes. I'm keeping all this so that
Yeah,
we don't have to do
come
this
on.
next time where we have to
Yeah,
guess.
I
who
know.
did
I like
what.
it. I like it.
Yes.
Because
All
we
right.
need to have our percentages. I think I've done pretty well up to this point.
I think so. I'd have to go back over that and look. But so we got Chicago Bears at the Atlanta Falcons.
Which one are you taking on Detroit? Arizona. You're taking Arizona?
Arizona minus 5.5.
Gotcha. All right.
And the win. Yes,
All right.
straight up. Chicago at Atlanta.
Chicago Bears, who are playing good right now. Trubisky, people were down on him. Trubisky looks great. Man, Atlanta blowing that lead. Ooh,
Yes.
that I don't know. That's so emotionally hard for them.
And what's crazy about the Atlanta Falcons is when you look at all of the offensive numbers, forget defense because obviously they're not very good defensively. But when you look at all the offensive numbers, they're tops in everything. I mean, Matt Ryan is tops in the league as far as yards, touchdowns, points scored, like everything. But they're 0-2 though.
Yeah, and this should be. I mean, they have it at 3.5, which Vegas gives you 3 points for being at home. So they're essentially saying this is going to be a very close game.
Correct.
And I'll go with them on that. But I like Chicago with the 3.5 points. I think the Bears are rolling right now.
Okay.
And I think that emotional loss to Dallas, Atlanta's Julio Jones doesn't look right. I think that he's got a hamstring issue.
He may not be playing.
He doesn't look good.
Yeah, but he's got Calvin Ridley though. You still got Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, and that other kid Gage, who's really good.
Yeah,
so.
you got Hunter, the tight end. I think Atlanta should be, and this is coming from a Cowboys fan, Atlanta should be 1-1. And they're not because of they don't know to pick up an onside kick.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get into the Cowboys in a little bit.
We'll get into that in a little bit. But I'll go.
Stay tuned for Cowboys drama because this is fun.
I'll go Atlanta minus 3.5 and the win.
Excellent.
I think Atlanta is ready for something. All right, so you got a battle of the 0-2s. You got Cincinnati Bengals at Philadelphia Eagles.
This was a game that I picked that we should talk about for a minute because the Bengals look good. Joe Burrow, he looked awesome. I think the Bengals are an up-and-coming team. I really do. And, man, the Eagles, I can't imagine them. If they go 0-3, just be glad there's no fans.
That would be,
Philadelphia is going to go ballistic because
Yes.
Carson Wentz is healthy now, right?
Right.
He's healthy, 100% healthy.
Yes.
And Carson Wentz looks like he's a backup quarterback.
And that was one of the teams I was going to say has been very disappointing for me. Trust me, I wish nothing but the Eagles' failure. I hope they go 0-16 every season. So,
Cowboys!
but I will say it's surprising to me how bad they're playing. And I'm not saying they're playing well and losing games. They're not playing well at all.
No, they look like a mess.
They were up 17-0 on the Washington Redskins and have looked like garbage ever since.
True. Yep.
The last game they played, the LA Rams are a good team, but LA Rams came in and that game was a joke.
Yeah, and I think, what if this is why I say, what if the Bengals come in here and if they beat Philadelphia, then Philadelphia has major problems.
Major problems.
If the Bengals come in and beat Philadelphia, and Philadelphia starts 0-3, and they just paid Carson Wentz all this money, and he's healthy, and they've got dude, they're in big trouble. Big trouble.
Well, and I've even heard where people start talking about, because you know who the backup quarterback is for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts.
Yep. And
so they draft Jalen Hurts in the second round.
If you notice, every game now they put him in a couple more plays. They do a little wildcat with him, stuff like that. If you're going 0-3, maybe 0-4, do you start Jalen Hurts over? I don't know. I don't know if you start. You can't do that because of the money you're paying Wentz. But that's another coach. You start 0-3, you're hot seat, man.
Doug Peterson.
You're in deep. If you're Philadelphia and you've got all that talent and all these expectations, and Carson Wentz is, this godly figure you put up here for Philadelphia, and you start 0-3 and you just lose to Joe Burrow and the Bengals who are 0-2. I mean, there's going to be some major issues.
And the big drama of the week was, so, now they're doing kind of Zoom press conferences now.
Yeah.
And,
him wearing his hat?
Well, no, Doug Peterson was asked a question by somebody and said, you're in year 5 now with Carson Wentz. What are your feelings on his regressing? And at first, Peterson thought he said progressing.
Progressing, yeah.
And Peterson said, progressing? Like, what? And then the person who asked the question said, no, regressing. And he said, man, that's a good question.
Yeah, like.
So that's not what you want to hear if you're Carson Wentz from your head coach. Basically, your head coach saying he feels like you're regressing.
And I also saw Carson Wentz in his interview come in with a hat on backwards, like relax, chill, like nothing is wrong, And for somebody that is 0-2 and has all this money and expectations, and look, you can wear your hat however you want to wear your hat, right? Like, I don't mind, but when you're employed by a franchise,
you can wear your hat however you want to wear your hat.
Yeah. When you're employed by a franchise and pays you hundreds of millions of dollars to do this, this, and this, and this, you want to look a certain way. And look, like I said, you're allowed to wear your hat. It kind of showed me where he stands right now with his team and what he's trying to do. Now, I understand maybe a hat's not that big of a deal, but for me, it was. Like, put your hat on straight, dress up, look the part, play the part, do the part, and to me, look kind of kiddish.
Well, and right now, when you rank as far as the starting quarterbacks in the NFL, he's ranked 19th in total yards right now. 19th. And for a guy that you're paying over $30 million a year that you just gave a big contract to, that's not going to work.
He makes Dak look good, and that's terrible.
I mean, we can get into Dak. And see, that's because you got Dak tops in the NFL right now.
Oh, God.
So we can get into that in a little bit.
That's all junk yardage.
You say that every time. You say it's all junk yardage.
Man, he scored 2 touchdowns. Like, look, Atlanta
he scored 3, actually.
Atlanta was giving him touchdowns.
He scored 3 touchdowns and passed for 1.
Golly. 1 yard line.
But I guess they should have a category now of yardage, of good yardage and junk yardage.
For sure. You said Ryan Fitzpatrick's not a Hall of Famer, so his
No, he's not.
Okay, so his yardage doesn't matter? Like, I mean, his yardage is, what, is it junk yardage? That's what you're saying, is that Ryan Fitzpatrick, all his yards and accomplishments and all that is just...
I would love to have people's opinion and know if I'm right or if you're right on if Ryan Fitzpatrick looks, or if you have to question that he's a Hall of Famer.
I think he's up there.
I think you're nuts. I think you're insane. I don't know how you can watch that cat and say that.
Man.
So you're going to say Cincy, what, plus the 4.5?
I think Cincy takes it.
I'm with Cincinnati plus 4.5. I'm with that. I think Cincinnati's good. I think Joe Burrow, I think that cat can play. Unfortunately, he's playing on the Bengals.
Yep.
And could you imagine if someone else had drafted that dude?
Well, Joe Mixon looks good. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's showing now that he has an arm. He's getting a little bit more comfortable. And look, lucky for him, he's not going into Philadelphia with a stacked stadium. Those fans would get on him. It's a little bit harder for these rookies to come in. They're going and playing in these stadiums with no fans.
Right.
So it's not as hard for them to get acclimated. The offensive line can listen to the count. They can talk to the receivers. They can, they can talk to their backfield without, having to just do hand signals. So you lose at least 4 to 5 plays a game just because of crowd noise.
I mean, it's a good season to be a first-year NFL quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's for sure.
That's why I think Tua should get in there eventually because, get some rest or get some reps before, crowds get in there, and then you're going to have major problems.
All right, so next we're going to go Las Vegas. Las Vegas Raiders at New England Patriots.
This is interesting.
It is.
This is an interesting game.
Las Vegas plus 5.5 in New England.
Wow.
Well, you got New England minus 5.5. I picked them because I'm going to take Las Vegas plus the points at 5.5.
I'm digging Gruden in the run game. Look, he's always been a run manager or head coach. Like, I get it. And Josh Jacobs for the Raiders is phenomenal. Like, I think he's up there with Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. I mean, Josh Jacobs is the real deal.
He's balling for sure.
The Raiders looked great, but so do the Patriots. And I hate to say it, man, because, I was on the Patriots bandwagon as far as, like, which team is going to do better, the Patriots or Tampa Bay. I love Bill Belichick. I think what he's done with Cam is fantastic, but I didn't think they would be this good. These guys are out there to win every football game.
Yes.
They're not tanking.
No.
Like, they look good.
And that was funny that people even started trying to entertain the idea that New England is tanking. Like, I would never see Bill Belichick not doing anything but wanting to win a football game. And I don't think he cares who's drafting next year. I don't care Trevor Lawrence or anybody like that. Bill Belichick wants to win. That's what that cat does. He went. Did you see him at the press conference recently?
Oh, with his shirt?
Did you see that?
It's ripped up.
I couldn't believe
It
that.
looks like a bum, but hey, that's Bill Belichick. That's what he does.
I think now he's got a bit where he's like, he just cut the
Subway commercial.
Yes, he cut the sleeves off his.
He might
off
be
his
doing
one.
that. Subway's like, look, we'll give you extra couple million.
Like it literally looked like he was taking a nap, and somebody woke him up and said, "Hey, Bill, you've got a press conference right now." And he woke up and went and did the press conference.
Well, I saw a stat today. Like the Raiders' defense is top 4 as far as yards given up, but they're like one of the worst teams. They give up 6 yards per play, right? And what does New England do? What are they good at?
Running the football.
6 to 8 yard plays every single time. They're not over the top. They don't have the deep threat like they used to. And, Cam doesn't really have that cannon anymore. So they just hit 6 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards, 4 yards, 10 yards. They just do those dink and dumps. So, I hate it. I want to take the Raiders, but I think New England wins this.
So you're going to take New England minus 5.5?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to take Raiders plus 5.5, but I'm going to take New England to win it.
Okay.
I like New England straight up. But
All
it
right.
would be curious to see how – and what's funny is what happens – you've only been in 2 weeks of the season, right?
Yep.
But, man, you already get people talking about should the New England Patriots go ahead and re-sign Cam to a long contract.
I mean, well, look, his contract right now, as we all know, is incentive based, right? So he has
Guaranteed $500,000 is what he's going to do.
that's unbelievable.
That's
compared
crazy.
to look at Carson. Look at what Carson Wentz is doing, and look at what Cam
Correct.
Newton's doing.
Yes.
So you got somebody that's making $34 million a year, and somebody that's only guaranteed $500,000.
Yes.
And look at the difference. So incentive laced, fine. He can still make a couple $1 million, but nothing near Wentz. He is getting old. I don't know how many years you extended, and he's not going to be a $30 million quarterback. If you give him
he's not.
If you give him a deal, do you give him 3 years, $50 million, something like that?
I think somebody had given a number of 390. So you're basically $30 million a year is what they put him at.
Well, no, I don't think he's that. No, he's not that good.
Well, you never know. Depends on what they do this year. It depends on what they do this year.
Well, and it's also depends on his system. Belichick, if Cam Newton likes that system that Belichick's got going and they thrive in it, then, hey, he's worth $30 million if he gets to the AFC Championship.
I think so. I think you can give Bill Belichick anybody who's going to win football games.
Yep,
That's
I
just my
agree, and
point.
that's why I said that he's better than Brady is without him.
Yes. Belichick made Brady.
Yep.
LA Rams at Buffalo Bills.
Before we get into that, let's thank some people. We hit halfway already. Man, we still got football games
Time
to get
flies when
into.
you talked about football.
Do what?
Time flies when you talk about football.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot more to get into. We got to thank a few people coming up. We need to thank, let's see, who's first? You want to do the construction? Well,
I tell you what, let's thank Construction Concepts.
uh-oh.
Construction Concepts we want to thank them. We want to thank Mark, Josh, all those guys over there. Construction Concepts is changing
Big
corporate
ballers.
culture one design at a time, from hospitality, corporate, luxury retail, and medical facilities. Their team of experts can update or create a space that exceeds your expectations. Give them a call at 713-589-2682 or buildithouston.com.
Nice. Next, we got to thank Hybrid Technology Groups. My boy Roy Stanton over there. When it comes to reliability, we are the ones you need. Phones, cabling services, surveillance cameras, iCloud services, whatever you want. Roy Stanton, 832-336-1201. Hybrid Technology Group. And also, again, thank you to Christian Tailgate, where we are Mondays and Fridays. Man, we'll be here for Monday Night Football. Monday nights now, we start at 6:20, lead you right up into the Monday Night Football game. We're here live. It's a blast. And thank you again, Lauren Leal, for
Not showing up.
not showing up.
Yep.
Yeah, that helps.
Nico's excited.
We'll see her here. I didn't tell y'all this. I might be out of town on Friday. I don't know yet.
There you go. See, I'm always here, man.
Well,
It's called commitment.
I might.
It's called commitment.
I might be. I don't know yet. I gotta see what plane flight I can catch. There's no more red eyes, and traveling now is a pain in the ass.
Yes, it is.
But let's get back to some NFL. We got second half games. What are we going at?
LA Rams at Buffalo Bills.
Rams and Bills.
You got Bills minus 2.5.
Dude, what a game! This game.
Who would have thought that? Buffalo Bills and LA Rams would have been.
Well,
a good
Josh
game.
Allen is on fire, bro. Like he is.
You
he
talk
looks
about
great,
you talk about a
dude.
surprise. I did not see that happen.
Dude, I mean, look, Sam Darnold outplayed him high school, college, and everything, and he was higher drafted. And now, if you're going to take Sam Darnold or Josh Allen, it's not even a question you're taking Josh Allen.
Well, and I think it comes down to coaching too. I mean, unfortunately for
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, he's been with Adam Gase and the New York Jets,
Yeah.
and they just don't develop very well. And you
He's-
got Sean McDermott at Buffalo; they've got a good system.
Yeah, and he's definitely surrounded by better people, Josh Allen, that is. And the Jets are tanking. Well, I don't know if they're tanking yet, but, it is what it is. We're going to see what happens. But
He's passed for, just so you know, Josh Allen, other than Gardner Minshew, because they had a game last night, but Josh Allen, most passing yards in the NFL so far at 727.
and he runs.
Yes.
And he runs. Let's see. I like the Rams. I really do. I think they're playing good right now. I think they're back on pace. Like I told you before the season started, they haven't lost anybody. Same offense, same offensive people, same linemen. So I'm going to take Rams.
I did too. I picked Rams plus the 2.5. You're giving Rams the points.
Yeah. We'll just go with points.
I'm taking LA Rams plus 2.5, and I'm going to take the Rams with the W. When I was looking at it, Buffalo, they played really well, but I don't think they played a team yet like the LA Rams. So I am going to go
Agreed.
with the LA Rams on that plus the 2.5.
Agreed.
Tennessee at Minnesota.
Oh,
Tennessee minus 2.5.
This might be the boring game of the. Although, I mean, look, Tannehill's playing great again.
Fantastic.
He's playing good. He had 4 touchdown passes, I think, last week. In Tennessee, if their ground game's going, they're pretty unstoppable. I mean, look, they were a quarter away from going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I like Tennessee in this game.
Yeah, I like Tennessee minus 2.5 and the W in Minnesota. Tennessee. So whenever I played basketball, my head coach, he wanted me to play golf with him. Okay, so I went and played golf with him, thinking, this 50, 60-year-old man. I'm in my 20s. I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to hit the
get
ball. All he did was just hit down the middle of the fairway the whole time and par all the time, while I'm all over the field.
Yeah.
That's what Tennessee is to me. Tennessee they just go down the fairway. They just run the football, smart with it, good passes, play good defense. They don't do anything that wows you. You don't watch them and go, wow, man, this team is entertaining, but they just win football games.
Yeah, like I said, Tannehill had 4 touchdown passes, and you didn't see it on any highlight reels.
No.
You don't see any crazy things. It's just they're playing fantastic football.
So we got Tennessee minus 2.5. We're both going on that one. This one was another one I didn't know I wasn't too sure about. Washington at Cleveland. Washington Redskins at Cleveland Browns. Cleveland minus 7.
Another just crazy game. Again, Baker Mayfield, has he found his identity as a quarterback? And what I mean by that, has Cleveland figured out that they're a running team?
Absolutely.
You heard
they have.
Odell Beckham come out this week and say, he's good with anything. He's frustrated. He's not getting enough passes, but he's good as long as they're winning.
Yes.
But the fact that he said that is kind of frustrating for everybody. But Cleveland, if they can run the ball well, Baker Mayfield's got a shot to win some games. Are they playoff contenders, Super Bowl title? No. I don't think so, not yet. But man, if they can run the ball like they did last week, they're gonna win some games.
Cleveland Browns are second in the NFL right now in rushing.
Ooh,
Rushing yards, yes.
good job.
So they've got Kareem Hunt and they've got Nick Chubb. Those two guys can run the rock. And I think finally they have Kevin Stefanski, their head coach and offensive coordinator, who has some sense about him and who knows where their bread is buttered, which is the running game.
Yep.
He's not putting it on Baker Mayfield. I don't think he cares that they have Landry and Beckham out there, OBJ running. They don't care about giving the football. They just care about what's the smart play, what gets them down the field and scores points.
Yep.
And right now it's the running game.
Those two guys have breakaway speed. They can make big plays. So you give it to them 3 or 4 times in a row, one of them is going to break off for 15, 20 yards.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they're going to win football games is by running it. So
And Baker's not you don't want Baker Mayfield throwing the ball 40,
Not
50
right
times
now.
a game.
Not right now, you don't.
Like, he's not that consistent.
No.
He's just not, and it looks like he's lost out there sometimes when he drops back. So run the ball as much as you can. Get him to throw those little 12, 15-yard outs, and then every now and then, take a shot down the field.
yeah, they know. Well, like I said, Stefanski knows what's going to make them win, and right now he's proving that he's a good game planner,
Yep.
and that's what they need is good game planning.
I
I
agree.
though am going to go Washington.
Ooh.
Washington, they're giving
going
Washington
with-
7
You're
points.
going with the football team?
Yes, I'm going to go with the football team.
Go
How weird
with,
is that shit?
Go with
The
the
football
football team.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Washington plus 7 and the win. I like Washington.
Do it.
That leaves us with a couple. San Francisco at the New York Giants.
You're saving the best for last, aren't you?
Well, I haven't gotten to all of them.
I know the 2 games he's saving. We'll get into it.
San Francisco at New York Giants. What do you think?
San Francisco at the Giants.
San Francisco minus 3.5.
Well, I mean, look, Garoppolo's not playing, and now they just said Kittle's out too.
Bosa's not playing.
Mostert's not playing. Barkley's not playing. Mostert's not playing. This ought to be an interesting game. What's the spread? Where's it at?
Minus 3.5, San Francisco.
Is it in San Francisco?
New York. Meadowlands. Well, New Jersey.
I'm going to take the team with the points. So I'm going to go San Francisco, or Giants plus 3.5.
Yep.
Yeah. Giants 3.5.
Yeah, baby.
I think of Giants plus 3.5. I think Giants will finally win their first football game. I think San Francisco right now, in the condition of their team is in, as far as all these guys on the injury report.
Yeah.
I think they're primed to get beat.
You got
right
Kittle
now.
out. You got a backup quarterback.
That's a lot of guys that
your
contribute.
backup quarterback, backup running back, and Kittle's out. I mean, who's he going to throw? Does he have chemistry with all these random players?
No.
I highly doubt it. So
we're
yeah,
going to take
Giants.
New York plus 3.5. Green Bay at New Orleans.
Fun game. Battle of the oldies.
Minus 3.5. New Orleans minus 3.5.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay. I'll take Green Bay plus 3.5 all day. I think New Orleans, they don't have Michael Thomas again this week. Drew Brees looks like he's lost a touch on his deep ball. It looks like he's just lost a little bit of that oomph on his ball. It doesn't have that.
So you're saying
zip.
he's got that old man strength?
Well, it just doesn't have that zip on it anymore.
No.
It doesn't get on the player real quick. You can kind of see that with him, and that's it's frustrating to be that. And look, he is older and he's an older quarterback, but Aaron Rodgers can still, sling the shit out of that football, and he can throw it deep. And I don't know if Adam Jones is, or not Adam Jones, but
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, I think, is out.
Yeah, he may not be playing.
I think he's out for this game. But still, I love. They've got Marquez Scantling.
Pick that dude up in fantasy.
Yeah, there's a couple. And look, they've got Adam Jones, man, and he's out of the backfield. You can pass it to him, and you've got Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going Packers plus 3.5.
I'm going to go New Orleans minus 3 for the W at home.
Ooh.
I think Sean Payton takes what they did this past week because they did not play well. I think I trust Sean Payton more than Drew Brees, and I just trust Sean Payton after what I would consider, he probably thought that was an embarrassing loss.
Yeah, I wonder what their record is coming off a loss.
That's interesting.
At home, I bet it's pretty good.
If
I know
it was
Seattle's. I saw a stat today. Seattle wins 77% of the time coming off a loss. So that's for coming up games.
Yes, it is. It's going to be interesting. It would be. I think it would be an automatic with New Orleans if they had regular fans. Like if they had all their fans in the stands, it would be a regular deal. I'm still going to take New Orleans though, just because when I looked it up today, so far in the first 2 weeks of the season, Green Bay, according to Pro Football Reference, has had the easiest schedule so far.
Yeah, and you would say the Texans have had the worst, but it's still football teams. You still got to play. Aaron Rodgers still looks good, and if those are, let's just say it's the easiest. You can call them preseason games if you want to, but they've got all their players and they look good. Devontae Adams, if he's out, is going to be a big one. But
yes.
I like Green Bay the way they're playing right now. They're going to be a 10-6 team again.
All right, Tampa Bay at Denver.
I cannot believe the spread on this game, and this is probably the pick of the week.
Tampa Bay minus 5.5 is what
this
I thought.
This is insane.
Insane which way?
For Tampa Bay to only be minus 5.5. They should be Tampa Bay minus 11, 12, 13. Denver.
Damn, really?
Denver has nobody. Their running game's terrible. They're on their backup quarterback. Their receivers are depleted. I don't understand. Is it snowing? I have no clue of what is going on because Tampa Bay finally looked like they got into a little bit of a groove, and 6 points, that's it? They must know something.
Let me just throw in this little tidbit.
All right.
Tom Brady is 7-6 versus Denver. That's the second lowest versus any team he's played more than 3 times.
Maybe that's I wonder if that has to, does that have to do with weather when they matched up?
Right.
There's
a lot of factors that go into that. I'm taking Denver plus the 5.5.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, so you're feeling this is a trap game?
Yes. I'm taking Denver plus the 5.5.
All right, because this could be. It could be. Maybe like I said, there's a reason they only have it at 5.5, and they have the Carolina game at 11.
Yes.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Jets game at 11.5.
Jets, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jets, Colts.
Denver looks to be – they have no running game. They're on their backup quarterback. I guess Fant, their tight end, is their lone hotspot.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
There's
I'm going,
everything that point, and I can see why you would think that. That's a given. That -5.5 on Tampa Bay. I don't know. For some reason, I just feel.
Could
I
be.
feel Denver plus
Could be.
5.5.
You could load up on this one, but if it was going to be a trap game, I think it'd be at like 8 points or 9 points, and then it's a real big trap.
Yes.
But 5.5, I'm taking 5.5 or 6. I saw it at 6 today. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
All right, so I saved our last three. We'll go first. We'll go Houston at Pittsburgh.
The Texans.
Houston will be. It's got Pittsburgh -4 at home.
I'm not going to say it's a must-win for Houston, but, oh, dude, I can't imagine them losing this game and not getting just absolutely annihilated via every sports show,
They already
Houstonians,
are.
Texans,
They
like
already
whatever, you know. I mean, if they lose this game, they are in deep trouble. Deep trouble. And you can say all you want. Oh, they face the Chiefs, and then they face Baltimore, and then they face the Steelers. Okay, fine. What are you? I mean, you're going to wait till Minnesota comes up before you get a win?
Hey, it is. Say what you will about the strength of schedule. That means something. They've had the toughest strength of schedule out of anybody in the NFL,
I mean,
and they've been somewhat competitive.
so are the Chiefs and Baltimore going undefeated this year?
There's a good chance they. Well, one of
No,
them won't.
look.
One of them won't because they play each other.
Yeah, I mean, it comes up Monday.
Yes, and that's one of those we're going to talk about. And of course, everybody's talking about you're going to have the fourth trio of brothers to play in the same game in the
Yep.
history of the NFL. The Watt
brothers.
The Watt brothers.
Which, I mean, I love their personality, and I love JJ, but JJ should have been traded. We should have got rid of that contract. We probably could have kept Hopkins, maybe signed. I don't know. But listen, at some point, we got into this on Monday. At some point, whose responsibility is this? Is this Bill O'Brien? Is this offensive coordinator? Is this Deshaun Watson? If they lose this game, you're gonna have to answer a lot of questions. All these questions.
Well, the responsibility is going to fall 100% on Bill O'Brien. This is his baby. This is his thing now. He's put
Jason-
these guys together. He's done all this.
Jason says Pittsburgh too. He said Denver. Austin Anderson said Packers. Jason said New Orleans, Denver, Pittsburgh. I'm going Pittsburgh too, man. I think the Texans are in a man. I think they're disheveled, bro. Like I think there's some major problems in there. Major problems.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win it, but I'm going to take the Texans plus the 4. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people think.
I've heard a few people do that. I
and
actually have.
Yeah, and
I've heard it's going to be a close game,
yes,
and then take the points.
Yes, absolutely. And the Steelers haven't had that hard of a schedule the first 2 games either. So
Well, we're going to find out. That game's Sunday. Is that a noon? I think it's a noon game.
yeah, Dallas at Seattle.
Them old Cowboys.
Dallas at Seattle.
The Cowboys that should be 0-2.
They should be. You're not going to hear any
yeah,
argument from
yeah.
me on that. They should be.
Listen.
But they're not. So
Yeah, but their
they're
offense is lackadaisical. They're you can tell there's just no spirit over there. Mike McCarthy needs to grab a hold of these guys and get something going. Like
I'm glad you said
I'm going to
that.
bring up the junk points again because they were completely annihilated by the Atlanta Falcons, and then Atlanta let them back in the game. And look, they're one dumb decision from Atlanta on an onside kick away from being 0-2 and a complete disaster.
Let me ask you what your definition of junkyards is. What do you think? When
you're
you say
up by,
junkyards,
when you're
what are
up
you
by
talking
20,
about?
when the other team's up by 20, and they play a prevent defense, a dime or a nickel, and they're allowing you to get 15 here, 20 here, 15 here, 10 there. They're not pressing you at all. They're just
Okay.
waiting for the time. They're not trying to beat you. NFL teams do that. Every one of them does. It's called junkyards, and that's like fourth quarter when the score is 32-7. The other team's going to score a touchdown or two because they're not even the defense. They're laying back. They're relaxing. They're not playing press defense. They're not trying to get hurt. They already won the game.
So junkyards we shouldn't apply those to anything.
No,
is
of
what you're
course you
saying.
can apply them, but are you trying to
Okay.
tell me that Dallas has like this incredible offense? Because I don't think so.
Well, according to the stats, they do.
Yeah, well, like I said, they are one weird onside kick away from being 0-2.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the record. I'm just talking about the stats. I mean, they're the third-ranked offense as far as total yards, passing and rushing.
Because they from behind. They're just having to chunk the ball around.
They were down, so they give up 3 turnovers. They have their first 5 drives in 3 turnovers, a punt, and a 4th down.
Yeah, and you're going to tell me they're awesome?
and they come from 20 down. They're down 20-0. At one point, they're down 26-7, and they come back and win a football game. We can talk about the fact that the onside kick was garbage. Yes, Atlanta screwed that up, but they had to get it to a point where they did the onside kick.
Yeah, and Atlanta was giving them that. Watch the game again. They're just like, you're giving them 5 yards, giving them 10 yards, giving them 15 yards. Here, you can do this out routes all day.
So at a certain point, when it got close, Atlanta said, you know what, we're just going to keep giving it to them.
It didn't even really get close. The game was never really close. Like they got lucky on a pass interference call late in the game, and then they scored a late touchdown, and then they got lucky on an onside kick. Other than that, they should have been they should have lost by 14.
We can talk about being luck on the onside kick. Absolutely, I'm with you there. But to say that it's junkyards or to say that they shouldn't count because they're doing prevent defense and all this other stuff, like I don't see.
Austin says, Grant, we're in trouble in this game because we have no defense, and that is very, very true.
Absolutely. Well, if we're talking offense right now, but if we want to start talking about defense, I'll tell you, absolutely. The question will be, and if I was wanting to talk to Dak and I could talk to Dak, I'd say, you want the money that you want. Dak is going to have the better receivers. He's going to have the better running backs.
His stats are going to look like they are.
I haven't even said nothing about the stat. He's got the better receivers. He's got the better running backs. He's got the better tools around him. Is he going to play better than Russell Wilson? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, is your record going to be better? Like, you've got to have, listen, the Dak stats can be, and people would say at the end of the year, look at his stats. Well, you're playing from behind every game, man. Like, of course, your stats are going to be padded a little bit. Look, Dallas is an 8-8 team right now, the way it looks.
Would you say this? Would you say Lamar Jackson, his stats are padded?
No, they're always in front.
Okay, so if they're in front, then that shouldn't count then, right? I mean, because they're just throwing the football around. It doesn't matter at that point.
The reason Dak's we'll see. Listen, they should be 0-2. They should be 0-2.
I agree with you. They should be 0-2.
They're about to be 0-3.
The defense scares me. 100%.
What's the line?
Austin's
What's
correct.
The line?
You got Seattle -4.5.
See, I'm taking Seattle all day.
I'm taking Dallas plus the points, but Seattle to win at home.
Ooh, you got two of those that are pretty close.
Well, and because Dak needs to show me this game that he's better than Russell Wilson. He's going to have the much better team in terms of both sides of the football. And if they come away with a loss, then Dak is still that guy that can't get over the hump.
We're going to find out. This is all Sunday, and we'll be back Monday at 6:20 here at Chris's Tailgate on Kirby to talk about it, plus Monday night's matchup, which is the biggest game of the year so far. Man, I wish there were fans at this game. Kansas City and Baltimore play on Monday Night Football, which should be fantastic. Like, that should be amazing football. That is a Super Bowl-type atmosphere.
Well, I can't believe they're doing it so early.
I know. I don't know. Look, the NFL comes out with a schedule, but I'm excited to see it. I don't care if it is early. Like, that looks like, on paper and the way these two teams are playing, looks like a Super Bowl matchup, like in Week 3. I think it's fantastic.
It's going to be awesome, and I'm feeling Baltimore in that game. I'm feeling Baltimore.
Because of the lack of defense on Kansas City?
I just think Baltimore's tops in every category when it comes to offensive defense. I think Lamar Jackson's motivated and pumped to play this game. I mean, we can talk about it more on Monday, but
yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
I'm liking Baltimore in this one.
Yeah, I agree with you on Baltimore. And look, Kansas City already won the Super Bowl. This is the matchup you wanted to see last year, right? And then Tennessee beat Baltimore.
Yes.
You know, and it was like,
Tennessee ruined it.
Damn it. But I just wish there were fans. I really wish there were fans at this game. But as a fan of football, I'm excited to be here on Monday night watching it here with you guys. So that'll be fun.
So we're going to do a little bit of history real quick?
Yeah, real quick on the NBA. It was tied up for a second. Miami and Boston are playing. Miami's up 3-1. Lakers are up 3-1. It looks inevitable to be a Lakers-Miami series. We can get into that on Monday as well. I'm not going to sit here and talk about LeBron all day because that'll piss me off. So.
Well, yeah, who wants to do that?
Nobody.
Nobody here, at least.
We'll know on Monday when we get back here maybe who's in the NBA Finals, which will be interesting.
I think it'll be Miami, LA.
The MLB playoffs will include the Astros. They should win tonight. Their magic number was 1. So they start on Tuesday, which is very interesting.
Yes.
We already said that in your hometown, in that stadium, which the Astros absolutely annihilated your Rangers last night. That was fun to watch.
They should.
Yeah.
I mean, they should. I mean,
no, the Rangers are terrible.
I'll have Astros fans come to me that know I'm a Rangers fan, and they'll say, "Oh, the Astros kill the Rangers." I'm like, "Yes, Congratulations, you're supposed to. If you didn't, then we can talk.
So we'll get to the playoffs.
Rangers are terrible.
We'll get to the MLB playoffs on Monday as well. UT, who we both love.
Yes.
UT minus this line surprised me for tomorrow. UT minus only 17.5 with Texas Tech.
I'll take that.
I would too. Like I think UT's a top five team. And
The way
Texas,
they're playing right now. Well, of
Texas
course, you don't
Tech?
know that
Yeah.
top 5 of what.
Yeah. Well, you got Pac-12 that's coming back to play. You've got all these other, all the conferences look like, they want revenue
Yeah.
money and stuff, so they're coming to play
Yeah, they
as well.
forgot how much football makes.
Yeah, exactly.
They started seeing
Yeah.
their bills,
Oh,
and they're
shit.
like, oh, man, let's get football going
Football's
again.
coming back. So
Yeah.
we do have the NCAA coming back tomorrow. Well, UT is playing tomorrow, and Pac-12 is coming back in November.
Yeah.
A bunch of
Big
teams are
10
coming
in
back. Yeah.
October. Yeah.
So UT minus 17.5 versus Texas Tech tomorrow. I'll take that all day.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they should win by 30.
Yep.
I think they're only saying that it's that because of Texas Tech.
Well,
But
yeah,
I-
and Texas struggles in Lubbock. They
yeah,
do.
but I just don't think it's the same teams anymore.
No.
So I'm taking Texas minus 17.5.
I'll take that, too.
Yeah, let's get to some history. What you got for us?
Well, first off,
Oh,
we want
yeah.
to make sure we thank somebody.
Uh-oh.
We're going to take Tosin.
Tosin?
Tosin and the guys over at Texas AV Productions. They are your event partner for all things live production, setup, designing, installation, corporate events, concerts, and touring support. Mention Sports with Balls and you receive a free consultation plus 10% off your total bill. Call them at 281-241-7520 and check them out online at txavpro.com. They can put on an event.
Tosin. Love you, T.
Love you, T.
T-Money.
T-Money. So today is September 25th. We'll make this quick.
Yeah, let's go.
Did you know that September 25th, 1981, Nolan Ryan's 5th career no-hitter as Astros beat the Dodgers 5-0.
Nice. 5 of 9? 9 or 11?
I thought it was 7 no-hitters.
Thought he had done. I'll have to look that up. Somebody that's watching.
That's
I forgot.
terrible. I feel,
Yeah.
boy, you tell me that any other time, I tell you
Well, I know
exactly.
the next like.
Somebody knows. Somebody's going to be like, hey, you idiots, it's this many no-hitters.
Oh, dude, you can't have I love when people come up to me now. They think I'm like a guru, and I'm like, listen, I can't keep up with what happened in 1947 with the New York Rangers hockey team. Man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should have known. My bad.
Well, I can tell you what happened September 25th in 1986.
What happened?
Houston Astros Mike Scott no-hit the San
Yes.
Francisco Giants 2-0.
Yep. I went to the game after that. That was in the Astrodome. I remember that very, very well.
Mike Scott.
Yeah, he was awesome. He's an Astro legend. Love Mike Scott.
September 25th, 1988, the Americans sweep the medals in the long jump at the Seoul Olympics. So Americans first, second, and third. Carl Lewis wins. Of course, you get gold, and then you've got second Mike Powell, and then Larry Mirix from the U.S. So U.S. sweeps the long jump in the Seoul Olympics.
Nice. Carl Lewis was a legend, man.
Yes.
Dude, that's 3 Houston things you've brought up.
I know.
Wow.
I'm feeling it.
The H-Town Day.
I had to have Nico bring this up because we need video for this. So September 25th, 2000, this happened.
Vince Carter, the dunk.
Wow,
Love it.
man.
Yeah.
That dunk. American basketball player Vince Carter jumps over 7'2" Frederick Weiss in 2000 Summer Olympics, known in France as Le Dunk de la Mort. That was my French. Did you like it?
Yeah, that was impressive. De la Mort.
De la Mort. It's called the dunk of death is what that translated
Oh,
to.
wow.
So
Yeah.
Vince Carter, that was the craziest dunk Vince Carter's done some amazing dunks.
That is supposedly the dunk, the greatest all-time dunk.
Like,
The
dude,
guy is 7 feet tall that he jumps over.
7'2",
Whew.
and he straddled him.
What a
like,
dunk.
you talk about poster, dude. That
Oh.
was crazy.
And now we know we can do video.
That's right. And then a couple birthdays I do want to say. 1918. This is a family thing. So Phil Rizzuto, American sportscaster and MLB shortstop for the Yankees. Phil Rizzuto was family of my wife, by the way.
Oh, very
So,
nice.
Phil Rizzuto. 1985. Scottie Pippen was born in Hamburg, Arkansas. The
Yep.
great Scottie Pippen. And then 1976. Chauncey Billups was born in
Big
Denver,
shot.
Colorado.
Big shot, Billups. Well,
Now you know.
thank you, Joe Applewhite. Thank you, Kristen's Tailgate. Thank you, Roy
Construction
Stanton.
Concepts.
Construction Concepts. And Tito, what's his name?
I'm sorry, Tosin.
Tosin. Thank you
He
to
calls you.
Tosin,
You
man.
said Tito, talking. I don't know what all you said. His name is Tosin. By
I
God.
know. I get it.
Good
right,
God.
my bad. We'll have Lauren back on Monday, guys, and we'll
Maybe.
be yeah, maybe.
We
if
may
she's
ask her
not
back.
too
We may
busy.
not. I don't know.
Thank you, Nico. Got my boy Nico in here for Johnny J.
Nico, I think you did a better job than Johnny J. I'm gonna say it.
Ooh, Johnny. We'll be
I'm gonna
back
say
Monday. Monday at 6:20. We'll kick off here at Christian Tailgate, and we'll lead you right into Monday Night Football. So, for Jeff Michael, Lauren Leo, who's not here, and Grant Miles, this is Sports with Balls. We'll see you Monday.
Peace.
Jump in my 6'4", let the top dine. Trunk hitting hard when I swing through H-time. Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho. DJ Screw got me falling asleep. This is how we do it in that 713.